YouTube. Right now, I'm going to talk about something with y'all. I might have discussed it before in maybe one of my old videos, but if I have, then this will be a part two. But I don't think so. We're going to talk about mental block. So you might ask, what's a mental block? Pretty much stopping progress, whatever that you're trying to do. For some reason, you might have known what steps to take, but for some reason you don't take that step. It's like you know you're supposed to practice, for something, but all of a sudden you're not practicing. And then in turn, you're not prepared, or you haven't put it in thought. Now, my question, or sometimes you can ask yourself, what mental blocks do I have that stop me from accomplishing my goals? What's that mental block that I lose focus on my goals? That's what you should be asking yourself if you're not happy where you are and you're trying to get somewhere, but for some reason there's you can't move past your current situation. So here's some key points here. One could be lack of discipline. Now, having discipline is key. It's doing the same thing over and over, like a rhythm, getting into your rhythm. Now, if you're trying to gain muscle, then you need to exercise. There's various ways you can exercise. You can go to the gym, or you can do calisthenics outside the gym. But it contains pushing weight or some type of using strength activity day in and day out. Now, if you're trying to bulk up, there's certain things you can't eat, only for a time being. You may not be able to have that chocolate cheesecake that you might want. You may not be able to drink that soda. That takes discipline, especially if you're used to drinking soda and high sugars. You have to have enough discipline to not do that. When you're doing a project, you got to turn your phone off or put your phone on silent. No frequent breaks. No watching content until you finish your project, or until you're further along in your project. Now, when you lack discipline, that means you're letting distractions get in the way. Like if you're supposed to do your homework, instead you watch TV. Then after you watch TV, you play video games. And after you play video games, then you take a nap. And then ultimately, you trying to throw a Hail Mary at 12 at night, knowing your work should have been done at 6 o'clock, no later than 7 o'clock. So lack of discipline is one of the stumbling blocks that causes you to lose focus on your goal. Number two, lack of schedule. You notice when you're in school, there's a schedule. When you're in class, it's structured as a schedule. When you're at your job, it's a schedule. Now, when you have your own business or you want to start a business, you want to create a schedule that works for you. You want to have some type of structure, at least until you have the results that you want, at least until you can have some income, some residual income coming in. And when systems are set in place, then you can take your schedule the way that you want, do your days, your time, however you want. But in the beginning stages, and it's a tough one, especially to you young entrepreneurs that think that it's cool to say, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I can do this when I want to. I can do that when I want to. Well, you can, but it's best to have a structure in your schedule. Number three, inconsistency. Okay, that goes with schedule. So when you have a schedule, that means you're consistent. But if you don't have a schedule, inconsistency breeds a mental block. It makes it so easy. That's that mental block. Because you don't have a schedule, you won't have results that you need and that you want. So you got to make sure that you're consistent. Inconsistency is your kryptonite of a stumbling block of success and accomplishing your goal. And then the last one, I would say fear. So for one, you can, that stumbling block could be fear of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. You have all of these scenarios in your mind. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? That will cripple you to even take a chance, to even take any chances. So that could be one of the major stumbling blocks. Another one is fear of failure. That goes with the unknown. You're saying to yourself, what if this happens? What if that happens? But fear of the known is like saying, I don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to work? Or is it not going to work? Well, you have to have faith within yourself, within being able to accomplish that goal that you have and able to be successful. And then this is an interesting one. Fear of success. Yes, there is such thing as you being fearful of success. Why? Because what comes with success? You might worry about, okay, these other people, they see me be successful, and then all of a sudden now they want to add their 2 cents in. Oh, my family members, they want to add their 2 cents in. Oh, my the friends that they claim that they're my friends, they act like they're gonna act like, oh, they was with me all along. And even people that are close to you, they're gonna be like, I was there with you when you wasn't doing all this, or oh, I believed in you and all of this. No, when you going through your valley, and when you shooting in the gym, when you go into that gym and shooting in that gym, pay attention who's around you. Now, if you have a support team, support system, a person that hyped you up when no one else was hyping you up, that person or that small group, that one or two people, and that's a blessing if you have one or two people, being there in your corner. When you make it, that's when you can take them, you can take those with you. You can give back you to them first. Those will be the first ones that you can give back to. You can do it for them. Do it for yourself first and foremost. And when you fear of success, right? Fearing of success, it's like, okay, you don't want to deal with all that unnecessary stuff, but you have to stand. You have to stand firm. Okay, so I'm gonna go down the list. What the mental blocks and what causes you to lose? What can cause you to lose focus on your goals? We already talked about lack of discipline, lack of scheduling, 2. 3, inconsistency. 4, and then there's parts to that 4, which is fear. Fear of the unknown, that's 1. Fear of failure, that's 2. And fear of success, that's 3. When you harness in by being consistent, having a schedule, have no fear. The opposite of fear is you have hope and you're confident. First of all, you're hopeful, and then you're confident in your hope. Then you turn that into confidence and hope. And that hope and confidence that you're going to be successful. And that last one, hope and confident in your success. Like, share, comment, and subscribe on more topics like these. Put your comments down at the bottom and I'll shout you out. I'm still doing shout outs, so whoever comments on my videos, I have to go through on my other videos. Then I'll probably shout out 1 or 2 names just to shout you out. All right, y'all. Have a good one.